Hello. Hi everyone. Good evening. Can all of you hear me? Okay. So welcome to IMTS and thank you for attending today's class. Merry Christmas to all of you and your family. Okay. So the topic that we will be learning today is benchmarking in total quality management. Right. So Seher, can you hear me? You have just joined. Seher Shakur. Seher. Okay, fine. So let's start. I hope all of you can see the PPT I have uploaded on the whiteboard. Can all of you see the PPT, PowerPoint presentation with the heading benchmarking? Okay. So benchmarking is the process of continually searching for the best method, practices and processes and either adopting or adapting their good features and implementing them to become the best of the best. Right. So benchmarking is generally the continuous process of improving your services or process, right? Measuring your performance against that of the best in class companies. It is also a way of measuring your own services with achieving high standards. Yes, very good. Uh, and compare your own performance with the best best companies in that field or in that domain, determining how the best in class achieve those performance levels and using the information as a basis for your own company's target strategies and implementation. Right. So once you start comparing your own organization with the one who is the best in the business, right? Then you are generally then you will generally understand how they work, right? And what all areas are there in which improvement is required, and then to achieve those standards, you set up those standard as the goal or the target of your organization and start working in that direction, right? So compare performance of an existing process against other companies who are best in class practices. Determine how these companies achieve their performance levels, right? So it is also a way of studying the whole method of the companies who are very good in those domains, right? So the best thing can be adopted from them and implemented in our own organization, right? Like what we do most in order to get successful in our lives as a human, we start considering someone as our role model from that field where we want to excel, right? And then we start reading and understanding their lives, how they work, right? How they achieve success, what all steps they have followed, and then whatever things suited us, we start implementing those things in our lives, right? So in the same way, uh, it works in organizations, right? So improve internal performance levels. So this is the basic background of benchmarking. Any doubts till now? Achieving target sales also can be the benchmark, but that target should be equal to the target set by the company who is best in that business, right? Clear, Prabha? Okay. Why benchmarking? The reasons are to obtain an external perspective of what is possible, right? So it will help us analyze ourselves or our organization of where the organization is exactly lacking, and it will clear the picture of in what all things improvements are needed. To assist in setting strategic targets. So once we understand how the good companies performs and how they set up their target, in the same way we can also set up our target of our organization, right? So it helps us in assisting in setting the strategic targets. To promote improvement in performance, right? So it also helps in improving the performance as an organization and as an individual, as an employee. To establish a competitive edge over our competitors, to enhance customer satisfaction. Once the process is improved, the customer satisfaction level will automatically go up. To reduce the cost, if the costs are reduced, the revenue will go up. To improve employee morale, right? So it also helps in improving the employee morale. To achieve quality awards, right? So once we start comparing our organization with the best, right, it means that we are trying to achieve the quality they have already achieved, and how to sustain those quality to survive in the market. Benchmarking in the context of TQM. TQM is total quality management. So total quality management key principles include comparisons with best practice, a strong emphasis on meeting the needs of the customer, both the internal and the external, the importance of efficient, effective business process, the need for continuous improvement, right? So with the help of benchmarking, we can continuously improve our system and other aspects of our organization. It enhances a total quality management program. Here everyone? Rajiv, good evening. Can you hear me? Okay, so today we are discussing about benchmarking. Right, this was the basic definition of benchmarking. Let me see quickly. Yeah. Benchmarking is the process of continually searching for the best method, practices, and processes, and either adopting or adapting their best features and implementing them to become the best of the best. So we as an organization start comparing our process and the method with the best in the business, right? So for improving our services or for improving our process. Clear? Okay. Benchmarking methodology. See, we have three circles here. One is the competitive, which includes the industry leaders, the top performers with similar operating characteristics, and internal, where we have the top performance within the company and top facilities within the company, and the functional department, where the top performers, regardless of industry, aggressive innovators, utilizing the new technology. Now, if we combine all these three, right, so this is the common area, so it means the best overlap. It means that if we get the best of all these three parameters, that is the best method. This is the benchmarking framework. We first measure our process with the one who is best in the business. Then once we analyze the whole process, we start making the change in start doing the change in our own organization. And once the changes are made, we review it. We will see that whether we are getting the proper output or not. This is the previous slide, Prabha. Should I proceed? Turn or wait? Okay. Prabha wants me to wait, Rajiv. 1 second. Let her copy it down. Let me know, Prabha, once you are done. Okay. Seher, are you following me? And Kelvin? Okay. Kelvin says yes. What about Seher Shakur? Okay. Let's proceed. Benchmarking processes or activities which do not support any of these statements should be disregarded as the benefits will be limited compared to those that could be achieved by deploying resources to other areas. So we have the mission. Each organization or company has their own mission. We have the critical process and we have the critical success factors, right? So all the process should be done, or all the changes should be done keeping these three factors in mind, or keeping these 3 points in the loophole. Now, what are the types of benchmarking? The first one, comparison, partner selection, right? So we select one partner with whom we compare our process. So we have internal comparison, the best in the firm. We have the competitive comparison, that is the best in the industry with the best in the industry, the functional and the generic. One second. I found one more interesting definition of. I'm coming to that, Prabha. I found one more good definition of benchmarking. Write it down. Yeah. Read these 2 paragraphs. I'm just coming in a minute. Just read these 2 paragraphs. Okay. So benchmarking is the process of comparing the cost, cycle time, productivity, or quality of a specific process or method to another that is widely considered to be an industry standard or best practice. Essentially, benchmarking provides a snapshot of the performance of your own business and helps you to understand where you are in relation to a particular standard, where your own organization process stands. The result is often a business case for making changes in order to make improvements. So all these things we do it for improving our process and service. The term benchmarking was first used by cobblers to measure one's feet for shoes. Yeah, they would place the foot on a bench and mark to make the pattern for the shoes. Benchmarking is most used to measure performance using a specific indicator, that is cost per unit of measure or productivity per unit of measure or cycle time of X per unit of measure or defects per unit of measure, resulting in a metric of performance that is then compared to others, right? So this is the, now let's come to the types. We have explained it. So till now, any doubts anyone has? Okay. Let's see the types of benchmarking. So the first one is the process benchmarking. The initiating firm focuses its observation and investigation of business process with the goal of identifying and observing the best practice from one or more benchmark firms. Activity analysis will be required where the objective is to benchmark the cost and efficiency, increasingly applied to back office process where outsourcing may be a consideration. Clear? So in process benchmarking, which is also known as functional benchmarking, here the centers on work process like billing, order entry, or employee training. They identify the most effective practices in companies that perform similar functions no matter in what industry they are. So here the comparison will be for the process like billing, order entry, and employee training, right? So they will the organization will find the will find the best organization who is best in this field of giving order entry method or billing method or employee training method, and they will adopt those process or method. This is the process benchmarking. Next is the financial benchmarking. Performing a financial analysis and comparing the result in an effort to assess your overall competitiveness. Right. So here the domain will be finance. Next is the performance benchmarking. So in performance, it is also known as operational benchmarking. It involves pricing, technical quality, features, and other quality. It is performed by reverse engineering, in which the competitors' products are taken apart and analyzed. Right. So here they will try to get the competitors' product and then analyze them. Performed by reverse engineering, in which the competitors' products are taken apart and analyzed. right? Next is product benchmarking. The process of designing new products or upgrades to current ones. This process can sometimes involve reverse engineering, which is taking apart competitors' product to find its strength and weakness. The Lakshmi is online. Lakshmi, good evening. Can you hear me? Next is strategic benchmarking. It involves observing how others compete, right? So here they will try to analyze how two organizations compete. This type is usually not industry specific, meaning it is best to look at other industries. Sixth is the functional benchmarking. A company will focus its benchmarking on a single function in order to improve the operation of that particular function. Complex functions like human resources, finance and accounting, information and communication technology are unlikely to be directly comparable in cost and efficiency terms and may need to be disaggregated into process to make valid comparison. And in this, what is called? 1 second. Functional benchmarking. Let me write it down. It is used. Yeah, I've written in the chat box. It is used when an organization looks to benchmark with partners drawn from different business sectors or areas of activity to find ways of improving similar functions or work processes. This sort of benchmarking can lead to innovation and dramatic improvements. These are the 6 types of benchmarking. Here everyone? One benchmarking that was left was generic. Let me write it down. Generic was left, this one. Yeah. In generic benchmarking, what we do, it is a method of comparing the performance and process of organizations in unrelated industries, like not from the same industry. Benchmarking is used to improve performance and processes as well as to create new standards. Generic benchmarking is one of the 4 different types of benchmarking. Now, this is the diagram you can see, right? So for selecting the benchmarking partners, benchmarking type, it is if it is internal, comparable sites, branches, sections, departments within the business, These can be the potential benchmarking partners. Competitor within the same industry sector, functionals, same function across all industry fields like finance, HR, every field. Generic, all industry fields. Performance benchmarking. Performance benchmarking enables managers to assess their competitive positions through product and service comparisons. Performance benchmarking usually focuses on elements of like price, technical quality, product or service features, speed, reliability, and other performance characteristics. I already explained this. It uses reverse engineering. Direct product or service comparisons and analysis of operating statistics are the primary techniques applied during performance benchmarking. And in this performance benchmarking, we find the most innovative ways, any new innovations. Process benchmarking, I already explained, but let's read it again. It focuses on discrete work process and operating systems such as the customer complaint process, order and fulfillment process, or the strategic planning process. Process benchmarking seeks to identify the most effective operating practices for many companies that perform similar work functions. Its power lies in its ability to produce bottom-line results. If an organization improves a core process, for instance, it can then quickly deliver process improvement. Okay, before coming to the critical success factors, one second. Let's see the procedure of how it works. It's interesting. Let's see this procedure. Lakshmi, are you following me? Okay, so let's read this procedure. So the following is an example of a typical shorter version of the methodology. Now if you see, the first point, identify your problem areas. Okay. Identify your problem areas, because benchmarking can be applied to any business process or function. A range of research techniques may be required. They include informal conversations with customers, employees or suppliers, exploratory research techniques such as focus groups or in-depth marketing research, quantitative research, surveys, questionnaires, re-engineering analysis, process mapping, quality control variance reports, or financial report analysis. Before embarking on comparison with other organizations, it is essential that you know your own organization function process. Baselining performance provides a point against which improvement effort can be measured. Right. So the first point is to identify your problem areas. Next, identify other industries that have similar process. For instance, if one were interested in improving the handoffs in addiction treatment, he or she would try to identify other fields that also have handoff challenges. These could include air traffic control, cell phone switching between the towers, transfer of patients from surgery to recovery rooms. Next, identify organizations that are leaders in these areas. Look for the very best in any industry and in any country. Consultant customers like or suppliers or financial analysts, trade associations and magazines to determine which companies are worthy of study. Fourth point, survey companies for measures and practices. Companies target specific business processes using detailed surveys of measures and practices used to identify Right. Fifth point, visit the best practice companies to identify leading edge practices. And last one, implement new and improved business practices. So this is the procedure in short. Now let's come to critical success factors, CSFs. Critical success factors are the key indicators that inform us that a particular task, activity, process, event, function, service, or endeavor is successful. CSFs are a feature of all levels of business activity, from the company as a whole down to the activities of individuals in it. How will success feel? Let's see. Benchmarking critical success factors. Adopt, adapt, and advance. First, adopt the change, then get adapted to that change, and then make innovations in it, and then excel in it. A well-designed performance measurement and benchmark system is essential, but there are other critical success factors like senior management support. Right, a support from higher management is very important in making the changes. Benchmarking training for the project team, right? So the training is also very useful. Useful in IT systems, information technology systems, cultural practices that encourage learning, resource dedication, especially in the form of time, funding, and useful equipment. Strategic benchmarking examines how companies compete and is seldom industry focused. It rovs across industries seeking to identify the winning strategies that have enabled high-performing companies to be successful in their marketplace. This is strategic. I think we already did strategic. So, planning a benchmarking exercise. Principal requirement for success. Strong commitment from the senior management, willingness to act on any major opportunities for improvement revealed by benchmarking, resources, staff capable of running a benchmarking project, time for employees to spend on benchmarking activities. What are the benefits of benchmarking? Now can anyone of you tell me, don't look at the PPT, what are the benefits of benchmarking of what I've explained till now? What do you think? Everyone, what are the benefits as an organization one can get or achieve from benchmarking? Achieve high standard, very good. Understand the gap between actual and the best practice, very good. Kelvin, you want to add anything? Seher, Kelvin, good performance in the business, okay. These are the short 10 steps. Determine internal process and operations to be benchmarked. Determine the company to benchmark or benchmarking data source to use as the comparison. Identify data to be collected, then gather and collect the data. Identify the gap. Project future performances based on trends at both the benchmarking competitor and the internal process or operation under study. Communicate results and recommendations for change. Establish new goals for the process or operation. Create implementation action plan. Implement changes and monitor result. And assess and recalibrate the benchmark. So these are the 10 steps for for implementing it. Let's take a look at one example. Okay, let me start an example of benchmarking. Yeah. Setting new goals. Okay, Prabha, very good. So can all of you see an example in orange color? Okay, let's read it together. ABC Insurance Company believes its cycle time from application to policy issuance is too long, resulting in lost sales. Right, so we have some company ABC which is into insurance sector. Now they are facing an issue that the time taken is too much, right from the application till the from application to policy issuance, right? As a result of which many customers leave them and try to look for some other company. A process improvement team undertakes identifying and documenting the steps of the processes involved and decides to benchmark against other insurance companies with comparable revenue. Right now, there is a team called Process Improvement Team. They copy down all the steps this ABC Insurance Company uses for their process, and then they look for the competitors which are earning whose revenues are nearby the revenue ABC is earning, ABC Insurance Company, and then start comparing it. The team learns that the industry leader, there is some industry leader, that is XYZ Insurance Company, has a 60% short cycle time, right? So it means that they take 60% less time as compared to ABC for the process from application to policy issuance, right? So they understand the percentage of improvement required, right? So it means that ABC have to improve their percentage by 60%. Identifying the gaps between the two companies, the team concludes that the primary difference is that XYZ determines the medical underwriting requirement at the time an application is signed, while in the presence of the client, the company can then schedule exams at that time, right? So XYZ is following with this procedure. However, ABC takes the application, keys it into the system, and mails the application to an underwriter who determines the medical exam requirement. This adds an average of 3 days to the process and up to 5 days when weekends are involved. Right, so on comparing, they found the problem in the procedure, right? How the best company works and how they are working. This adds, right, the delay is further extended because another department has to contact the applicant, communicate the requirement, and schedule the medical exams. Now this insurance company deals into medical insurance, so that's why they are speaking of medical insurance. The team determines that ABC will continue to lag the leaders until it redesigns the process and installs new software that will enable capability similar to that of XYZ Insurance Company. Clear, everyone? This example, very easy. Okay. After communicating the results to senior management, the team receives approval to evaluate and install the new software, redesign the process, and train ABC sales agent. Cycle time is reduced by 65%, the underwriting staff is reduced by 50%, and as a result of which the sales increases by 35%, which is the bottom line. Right, so this is a very good example of benchmarking. One second. let's come. So let's see the benefits of benchmarking. Cultural change. Benchmarking allows organizations to set realistic, rigorous new performance targets, and this process helps convince people of the credibility of these targets. This tends to overcome the not invented here syndrome and the we are different justification for the status quo. Performance improvement. Benchmarking allows the organization to define specific gaps in performance and to select the process to improve. It provides a vehicle whereby products and services are redesigned to achieve outcomes that meets or exceeds the customer expectations. The gaps in performance that are discovered can provide objectives and action plans for improvement at all levels of the organization and promote improved performance for individual and group participants. Human resource benchmarking provides a basis for training. Employees begin to see the gap between what they are doing and what the best in class are doing. Closing the gap points out the need for personnel to be involved in techniques of problem solving and process improvement. Moreover, the synergy between the organizational activities is improved through cross-sectional cooperation. Clear, everyone? Prabha was asking underwriters. See, we have insurance underwriters who decides if the applications for insurance cover or risk should be accepted, and if they are accepted, what the terms of the acceptance are. Let me write it down. Yeah. This is what they do. Prospective clients, actually. Prospective clients, that is the policy holders. Clear, Brahma? So they were the insurance undertakers work closely with actuaries, risk and claim managers to ensure the balance between the attracting and retaining customers to competitive insurance premiums and being able to cover any potential loss from claims. Prabha, can you hear me? Prabha. This is another organization, AT&T. So let's leave it because we've already done one example. Okay. So we can stop over here today. I think this much is sufficient with regard to benchmarking. If anyone has any questions, you can ask me. Okay, so that is all for today. Thank you very much for coming to my class. Merry Christmas to all of you again, to all of you and your family, right? So you can find it in on LMS. I will ask the coordinator to upload this PPT. Okay. Okay. So thank you very much. Good night. Take care, all of you. Bye bye.